Hey guys, Captain Kit Kat Bar here. We're going to be going through some high intensity interval training work today. HIIT, H-I-I-T, high intensity interval training, however you may have seen it, is characterized by short periods of really intense work, followed by longer recovery, not as intense, gives you time to reset. The operative thing on that is short periods of time. We're not talking like running a marathon here. We're talking like 30 seconds to a minute to 90 seconds of work, that sort of territory. So all of this work can either be done on a treadmill, on a water rower like I'm about to use, on a stationary bike, walking, literally anything that's gonna get your heart rate up that you have a little bit of control over. I'm gonna choose to row because I like to row. So our first round is gonna be 1 minute on with 1 minute off, alternating 1 minute on, 30 seconds off. So your first round, you're working for 1 minute and you have a whole minute of recovery. Your second round, you're gonna be working for 1 minute and you'll have 30 seconds of recovery. Your goal is to complete that 3 times. The point of changing your recovery time is you're always looking to challenge your effort level. You want to try and keep that effort level the same even when you have that shorter amount of recovery. Then when you go for that longer recovery, that's when you get that little bit of a fuller recovery. So I'm going to be over here on the rower. We're going to be rocking for 60 seconds. I'll take my minute of recovery. We'll do it again. So 1 minute of work, you're looking to get your heart rate up. That's gonna be a little bit different for everybody. For some of us, it might look like a fast walk. For some of you, it might look like something that's pretty close to a sprint. For me, it's looking like a pretty solid pace on this rower. You can use a stopwatch on your phone. You can use your Apple Watch, actual stopwatch. This rower has a clock, so I can set up for 60 seconds. I know that I'm about halfway. Think about using your breath, 20 seconds. There we go, 60 seconds. Now I get a whole minute of recovery, which is important because you want to give yourself time to reset before you're on for that next minute. So heart rate's going to start to come down. I'm recovering from being sick, so my heart rate's definitely going to be a little bit higher than it would normally be. That's totally fine. I got about 30 seconds of rest left. I feel like I need that 30 seconds. So my goal is to keep that effort level that I just gave the same when I have that recovery cut in half. That's the hard part. You want to think about going through this for 3 rounds. Every round, think about improving your speed, improving your meters if you're on the rower, maybe moving just a little bit faster. Even if you're going for a fast walk, a jog, an incline walk, something like that, there's always ways to continue to improve on what you were doing before. Now your second set of work for this high intensity interval training, you're gonna cut the work in half, but the recovery is gonna stay the same. So 30 seconds of work with 1 minute of recovery to start off with, then 30 seconds of work, 30 seconds of recovery. So playing with that work to recovery ratio, in your first round when you were going for 1 minute, it was either 1-to-1 work to recovery ratio or 2-to-1 work to recovery ratio. Now it's either 1-to-1 or 1-to-2 work to recovery ratio. That's a good thing because this short 30-second sprint, you can really give it everything you've got. So we're talking like if you're running sprint pace, something that's past that kind of uncomfortable, breathless, starting to get to something that you could only do for that 30 seconds. The deal with interval training is you want to think short bursts. Your body gets to keep its metabolism working long after you are done in this room. That 2-to-1 work to recovery ratio tends to be kind of the sweet spot. 1-to-1 gives you a little bit more recovery. 1-to-2 is really going to give you the ability to find that sprint level effort, that max effort. So I'm going to be rocking for 30 seconds on here. I'm going to try and add a little bit of something onto my effort level from where I was before. 30-second sprint. You can walk it, again, you can walk it, you can incline walk it, you can run it, you can be outside, you can bike it, you can row it. However, you can choose to get your heart rate up. Let's go. So we're talking 30 seconds of something that you could only do for this amount of time. I can definitely not hold on to this effort level for longer than this. There it is. Getting that heart rate pumping. Give yourself that recovery. Again, you can use a stopwatch, your watch, Apple Watch, your phone, anything along those lines. All right, guys, now we're gonna take it down to the floor. I'm gonna give you 3 sets of 3 exercises. They're all designed to get your heart rate up. The first one is gonna be easily modifiable from something that is a little bit higher impact. You can easily take the jumping out. The second set is gonna be involving either a slam ball or a medicine ball if you have access to one. And the third round is gonna be a little bit more of a high impact plyometric type workout. So our first one, we have 3 moves. You're gonna see them for either 10 or 20 reps. We're gonna start with 10 jump squats. So the name of the game on that is feet are a little bit wider than your hips, toes are slightly turned out. You take a deep squat, jump up, catch down. You're thinking about melting into that landing. You never wanna land like this because you always wanna think about absorbing that impact. If you're low impact, just take it into a body weight squat. Think about moving through it fast enough so that you're getting a little bit of heart rate up. So 10 of that jump squat, then you're gonna take it down to a high plank. You're gonna give me 10 plank jacks. So you jack it out. It's like you're doing a jumping jack. You're just in a plank. Option to take that as taps instead if you're going for a low impact option. If you're choosing to go for those taps, make sure that you're doing 10 each side so that you end up nice and even. Your third move on this, you're gonna stay in this plank. We're gonna go for a cross body mountain climber. So cross body mountain climber, one knee is gonna go towards the opposite elbow. We're gonna go for 10 each side, so 20 total reps of that mountain climber. So you find that high plank, hands under your shoulders, you're crossing your body. You can choose how fast you're going. If you're a little bit on the lower impact side, you can 100% take this on the slower side. You're trying not to let yourself hang back. So your shoulders are right over your wrists, holding on to that form. So those 3 movements, 10 jump squats, 10 of that plank jack, 10 each side, so 20 total of that mountain climber, easily transformed into 10 body weight squats, 10 each side of a plank tap, and 20 of that slower, less impact mountain climber. I would say go through that for 3 rounds. That's your first set of moves on the floor. All right, guys, our next set of moves is gonna involve either a slam ball or a medicine ball. There's a ton of different weights out there. There's a ton of different sizes. You could even use like a sandbag, something like that. Something that's just gonna give you a little bit of weight that you feel like you can slam around and have a solid grip on. You're gonna start off with 10 slams. So you pick up that slam ball, start with it overhead, you slam it down, and you wanna think about picking it up on the first bounce. So you're not letting it just hang out down there. You wanna think about picking it up right away. So 10 of that slam, then we're gonna turn it into 10 windmills. So start with the slam ball facing to one side. All 10 toes point one direction. You think about it, bringing it up and over, slam it down. Up and over, slam it down. My toes are pivoting with me. That up and over, my feet would move with me. That ball isn't necessarily going all the way overhead. It's coming more from my chest down to the ground from there. You wanna think 5 each way, 10 total. On the other side of that, your slam ball is gonna hang out on the ground, and we're gonna take a little up and over hop. You can really use anything for this. You can play a towel out, something, literally anything. Pick a leg to start with. Think about hopping over and try to land on the other leg without needing to put this foot down. Think up and over, low, and then start to pick it up a little bit. You can challenge your balance and try to linger, but try and get up and over. Again, your goal is to get your heart rate up. You wanna think 10 each side, 20 total. So that's 10 slams. Pick it up on the first bounce. 10 of that windmill, 10 each side of that up and over single leg hop. Again, your goal is to get your heart rate up. You want to think 3 rounds. In between, I would say, take enough recovery so that you feel like you're just about ready to go, but not like, yeah, I could have done that all day. The last set of moves down here on the floor are definitely going to be your most demanding in terms of your heart rate. 3 moves, plyometric, meaning that they all involve jumping. We're going to be going for an atomic lunge, a skater, and a burpee. So that atomic lunge, it looks a lot like a reverse lunge to start off with. So you start with your back knee within about 1 inch of the ground, you switch in the air. If you need to take a little stutter step in between, you can 100% do that. You want to think 5 each side, 10 total. From there, we're going to take a skater, also known as a lateral bound. You're going to be going from side to side. So you want to think about getting kind of low, hopping. Try to keep that back toe a little bit lifted. I like to think like I'm trying to jump up and over something, like there's a little puddle underneath me. I like to get my arms involved in this. Again, you want to think 5 each side, 10 total. On the other side of that, we're going for a burpee. There's a million different ways to take a burpee. You can add in a push-up. You can take out the jump if you feel like you need to. I'm going to go for how I like to take a burpee. So, a little jump, bring it down, jump back, 1 jack, jump it forward, jump up. Down, 1 jack, come forward, jump up. 10 burpees.